What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and we are live once again, yet another Tuesday night. And depending on where you are in the country, and actually, we get a lot of people from all over the globe popping in the comment section. I'm over here on the West Coast. It's 5 o'clock my time. And then, of course, on Eastern Daylight Time, it is 8 p.m. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us like you do most Tuesday nights. Now, granted, I wasn't here last Tuesday, and I apologize. I got a lot of people telling me they missed the show and they missed me not being on the air. But you know what? My son's playing football this year, senior year, varsity, supposed to be nose guard, and he got hurt and actually had an issue where he had to go get an MRI. And unfortunately, poor guy's going to have surgery, so he's going to miss the whole season. But, so that's the bummer. That's where I was last weekend or last Tuesday. But you know what? We're back. We got another one going. It's going to be a good show. And you know what? Let's jump over into the comment section, see who we've already got popping over here before I bring in my special guest. But for those of you guys that are just now jumping in, stay tuned. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you are participating in the comment section, because that's how I'm going to find you. Because you know what? I'm going to do a giveaway. And real quick, let me show you what I'm going to give away. Let me do this. Share this screen right here. Right there. Right here, guys. I'm going to be giving away one of these betties right here. This is the brand new. I've been talking about it for a while. Everybody's been waiting for this reel for a long time. And then I had to pump the brakes on a couple giveaways because a couple of different things going on. But you know what? It's happening now, guys. I'm going to give one away to you guys, right hand or left hand. Somebody's going to get hooked up, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, guys. So make sure you're commenting so I can find you in the comment section. That's all you got to do. Just comment, like, just be you. So, guys, the Royale Legend Pro Baitcaster, this thing is awesome. 8-to-1 gear ratio. You can get it right-handed or left-handed. It's got a very similar braking system, pretty much the exact same braking system as the Mega Jaws upgraded system in there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reel, guys. We're going to be hooking it up, giving it away. You guys can win. So you've wanted it. I'm hooking you up. But you know what? Let's say you don't want to wait to possibly win this thing. 20% off right now on KastKing.com. Jump over there, get it hooked up, and get it taken care of. Another thing I want to tell you about, too, real quick before I bring you on my special guest, Milton Thompson. Of course, you got to know Milton. He's always going to hook it up and let you guys know. Check this out. Kestrels are live. And when I say Kestrels are live, I mean the one-piece Kestrels are on here. So you guys can see that right now. Get your one-piece. Get it figured out. Jump over there and purchase that Kestrel. Get hooked up before those one pieces are gone. Yes, one-piece Kestrels in stock on the website. Get it done, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love it. All right, now let's go ahead and bring on our special guest here in just a second and give him a little heads up. Oh, there he is. All right, we're going to bring him on. What's going on, guys? Glad to see you in here. Of course, I know I got all the repeat offenders, and we'll jump in there with you guys in a minute. But first, Mr. Dylan Nussbaum, what's going on, man? How you doing? The D-Bomb.
Good. Can't complain one bit. Been doing real good.
Well, good deal, man. Good deal. It actually looks like you've been doing very good. I mean, I talked about it 2 weeks ago. I was hoping to have had you on last week. Like I said, I ended up having to take a week off, take my son to the doctor. But you are actually second in points right now for Angler of the Year. Before the show started, you and I were chatting a little bit, and this is the final event. I mean, there he is.
Oh, there we're good.
There we go. I was going to say, did the power go out for a minute?
No, it just connected to my AirPods here for a second. I think we're all good now.
Okay. I was like, it went black, and all of a sudden you looked up. I'm like, yo, you got power going out? I went black fast, but but anyhow, so this is the final This is it. This is the final stop for your guys' season right here. You were telling me 7 points out from Angler of the Year, or the championship. Same thing, pretty much similar. Or I'm wrong.
Yep. 7 points out, and championship is going to decide it all here. So the points carry into the championship. So it's going to be a real shootout for this one. It's just a pretty tight race for the whole top 5 that are in there, and I believe only the top 6 have a chance of actually getting Angler of the Year. So it's going to be a real tight race for this one.
Wow. Now you were telling me. I was asking, what is it like? What is total that somebody could take home? Total purses, total winnings, everything. Because you were saying Angler of the Year could win a boat. The championship race could win a boat. Then, of course, there's other purses and things like that involved. So it's like $250,000 package. Say you were to skate in there and just take it all home. It's like $250,000+.
Yeah, it's going to be right around 250 grand between contingencies with sponsors, Uh, the first place angler for Angler of the Year gets a brand new Nitro ZV21 with the 300 horsepower engine on it. And first place for the championship side gets a brand new Ranger boat, I believe also with the 300 on it. So they're both $100,000 boats, and there's a lot of cash and other prizes to go with it too. So it's exciting.
Wow. Now, are they fully loaded? Like, say they're going to already have, like, say, a Garmin or a Minn Kota force trolling motor on there, or and all the different like graphs and whatnot,
So
just ready
these
to
ones will
fish.
actually they will have graphs. They'll have trolling motors. I mean, they're not going to be fully decked out, but still, I mean,
Pretty
it's a
far
dream
start.
boat for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, the only thing you got to do is throw a couple extra graphs on there, and I mean, that thing is fully ready for a tournament.
dude. I'm telling. I mean, what? Okay, let me ask you this. You said it was one's a Ranger. Are they both Rangers or just one?
Just one on the championship side itself. That's a Ranger, and then for the Angler of the Year is a Nitro.
Ooh, see, okay. I know you're a Nitro guy, so I don't want to.
Uh huh.
Now, so if you win them both, I'm sure that Ranger's getting sold pretty quick. No offense, Rangers. Sorry, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But so now, this boat? Just curious, just for sake of conversation, would it be a boat that you hold on to? That say you won the Nitro, would
hmm
you hold on to the Nitro you have now, or are you 2 years into that? Do you do like every 2 years you get a new boat? What's your story with your boats? And I'll get back to what my point was.
So
So
yeah, this boat I just got, I got it in I guess the spring here, and I'll keep this boat for 2 years, and then I will sell it. So the boat that would be up for Angler of the Year has a 300 Mercury on
yeesh.
it, and it's a ZV21, so same hull that I have, just a smaller engine. So my boat, I run a 400 V10 on there, so you get crazy good fuel economy, and it is fast. Let me tell you, it is pretty ridiculous. I can get almost 70 miles an hour out of a walleye boat, which
Wow,
is kind
that's
of
cooking.
unheard of. So
Yeah, that's a
these
big deep
new
V hull.
V10s are pushing them.
Wow, that is insane, man. That's insane. Well, Walleye Gill here says he hopes that you win for sure. So that's. Is there anything you're nervous about?
You know, not really. I mean, the only thing going out to this is we're going to a Great Lake. So this is going to be on Lake Huron. We're going to be fishing out of Michigan. The only thing I'm nervous about are below days, really, to where the tournament gets called because there's a small craft, which is very possible. We're right on the main lake of Lake Huron, so we're really not protected from wind like at all. It's kind of just in a tough area because the only wind we're kind of sheltered from is like a south wind, in which the wind doesn't come out of the south a lot. It's typically out of the northwest that time of year. So the only thing I'm nervous about is basically Mother Nature.
Understandable. Absolutely understandable. So now let me ask you this. I know that when I was reading about how you had your last tournament, that you had gotten into a spot where it basically would have just potentially won that tournament had you not kept your first fish or two.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how exactly is the scoring or the points, or you can't cull, so to speak, right?
Yep.
So you just when you catch something, you go to do I gamble? Do I keep it? Do I throw it back? How does it work? How's the scoring system work in the walleye scene for people who don't know?
So basically, for any one of the events that we go to, the main concept is we catch 5 of our biggest walleyes, and that's what you bring into the scale. So for different states, there's different rules. For
Okay.
some states, you're not allowed to call, which means once you put it in the live well, you can't throw it back. So you can't put another fish in there and take that other fish out and put it back in the water. It's illegal in a few different states. So
Okay.
we have to deal with that. And I guess when it
Which
comes
is
down to
basically
that,
what you just dealt with in your last tournament, right?
yes,
Okay.
yep. North Dakota is one of them where it is not legal to call fish. And we were only allowed to keep 5 fish. So we can't keep 6 in the live well. We can't keep our normal limit in there. So it made decision making very tough. And for that event, I was fishing over 60 miles away from takeoff. So it was a long run, big winds out in North Dakota all the time. We got very lucky and it wasn't that bad. But day 2, they were actually calling for some pretty big winds. So by the time I got there, I had it in my mind, I got to catch fish, catch them fast, and get back because it's going to get rough. And when it comes down to landing that 5-pounder in the boat, it's like, what do you do now? Because you just in your mind you have what you want to keep, but the conditions, I mean, there's just a lot of different variables. And if I would have threw back them smaller fish in the morning, who knows what could have happened? I could have brought in 34 pounds of walleyes, or I could have brought in less. You just really don't
Right.
know. Just makes for tough decisions in tournaments like that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are just now tuning in, we got Dylan Nussbaum right here, second in points in the National Walleye Tournament for Angler of the Year. You've got a chance at winning the championship. You've got a chance definitely at winning that Angler of the Year. $250 some odd thousand on the line. It's coming down to this weekend. You leave Thursday. First day of pre-fish is on Friday. But guys, if you're just now tuning in, we got Dylan on here, but we're also doing a fat giveaway. We're going to be hooking you guys up here pretty soon with a Royale Legend Pro bait caster. So, and you know what? If you guys decide that you want a spinning reel instead, I'll even give that option to you too. We'll juice it up that way. So make sure you're commenting. And if you have any questions for Dylan while I got him on the air, please throw them out there. Oh, right there. What's this? When he goes, what's the he uses? I've never fished for a walleye. I'm not sure what Doug's asking, but but what is your most okay? Let's try to elaborate here. I guess he's probably asking what kind of baits maybe do you use? Oh, what kind of gear do you use? Okay, so what kind of gear? Doug's asking what kind of gear do you use? But guys, if you have any questions for Dylan, please throw them out there. Like Doug took advantage already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the gear that I use for this event, like basically my lineup for rods, it comes down to using the Wide Eye series. For myself, like, oh man, for probably 80% of my jigging setups, I'm using a medium fast action power jig rod. It's a 6'8" rod, and it works all across the board for anything. A 1/4 ounce jig and up, it just works all across the board. If you're throwing jigging wraps, lighter jigs, twitch tail style minnow jigs, it's one of my favorite rods all the way across the board. And along with that, for walleyes, I'm usually always throwing a 2000 series reel, or using a 2000 series reel. And along with that, with live bait, very light jigs, I'll drop down to a 1000 series jig reel. And the main reason for that is just for drag, just really trying to do a light setup using light line, 8-10 pound line. So it's kind of really some of the bigger things that I use. I mean, trolling stuff like that, you can get into that too, have all that lined up. But that the power jig rod is one of my favorites across the board.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, I don't know if you can see the comment that I have posted at the bottom of the screen. So, yeah, I think you can see it, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so why do you I didn't know this. You wear Jordans when you're out fishing?
Dude, all the time. Air Jordan 1s all the time. You got to have them.
So is there a reason why, or you just love Jordans?
No, I just like them. Honestly, just like them. They're not the best thing when it's like raining, but hey, they look good.
Nice. You know what? I used to be like always wearing Chuck Taylors out fishing. And then recently I've been wearing my Adidas mountain bike shoes like crazy. So I can't hate it. It's just, I guess, whatever I've got at the time, that's what I'm wearing. So, but I can't say that I'm like, you know what? Got to get my Jordans, go get my fishing on with my Jordans. I wonder if Jordan fishes. So who knows? Maybe I can get him on the show. But yes. I got a question for you. So when you're out there fishing in these tournaments, is there a species of fish that plagues you, that irritates you, that shows up and you're like, dude, like what is going on? Like, get out. Is there a nuisance fish that drives you nuts sometimes?
Yes. Any walleye angler would probably have to say sheephead or drum. Oh my, they can be terrible in some lakes. Like Lake Erie, if you're trolling on Lake Erie and you hook into a 15-pound sheephead and you have 300 feet of line out, then it's going to be a long fight, and they're just gear wreckers. They just take a lot of time to get in, and sometimes you just can't get away from them.
Oh wow! Now that's interesting. Okay. Now, next question I have for you is what? Now, granted, I know that you're probably backed by some form of whether it's Lowrance, Garmin, you know what I mean, who it, Humminbird, who it is, without stepping on toes. And I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot. What is your views on them banning forward-facing sonar? Does it bother you? Does it hurt your feelings? Do you use it a lot? Like, is it like you're going to be okay without it, or is it change the game for you? Like, what's your thoughts?
It's definitely changing the game. Forward-facing sonar is 100% changing the game. I mean, even if you look at the National Walleye Tour, the top 8 guys are using forward-facing sonar very heavily. But at the same time, they're guys that have been around for a long time that have won events without it. So it's
Mhm.
not like it's just guys that are just showing up with it and using it. But as you could tell, I'm definitely for forward facing sonar. I mean, I love it. I'm addicted to it. It's just so much fun. But banning it, I think we could definitely put regulations against it for sure. But 100% banning it, I don't know if I'm on board for that. But I think we could definitely find something in the middle ground. I'm sure on the
Oh,
bass
yeah.
side, I believe right now there's a lot of discussion about it right now on the bass side. On the walleye side, not so much at this point. I think it is kind of just too much to give away um, for the sponsorship side of it because, sponsors, I mean, they're all sponsoring these events. So,
Yep.
and they want us to sell their products, which, you know,
Yeah.
it
That's
is
going to be
so
the big
much
fight. I
fun.
mean, there's too much money behind it. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
it's now I don't have forward facing sonar, so I'm a guy that doesn't have it, right? And I'm going to get it. I will have it.
Hmm.
Like I bought a stinking mountain bike instead recently, so that was $4,000 that just went out the window right there. That could have had my forward facing sonar, but anyhow, so it's on my list to get, but uh, I'm not opposed to it, and I don't use it. And I'm like, okay, now granted, if this guy comes out here and he's got forward facing sonar and he puts a hurting on me, I get it. Like I'm also rocking a 2000 champion with a Evan or a Johnson 150 on it. Like you're either you get the brand new stuff and you stay ahead of the times, or you just deal with it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But like I can see what they could like. I agree. Put regulations on it, or at different events you can only do so much, or do that, or do this. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's I don't know, like it's funny. I think there's again, like we said, there's too much money behind it.
Yeah.
A, it works, and then B, like get with the program. Like it's obviously going to get more and more affordable as time goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, the only issue that I really think it brings up is kind of like, it is bringing younger people in because you could see the younger anglers are coming up. I mean, pretty hot with the technology. But at the same time, you have anglers that have 30, 40 years of experience that have been doing it their whole lives. So it's kind
Right.
of like experience versus technology.
Technology. Yeah.
It's kind of a tough subject. I mean, it's something that you're just not going to make everyone happy with, and it is one thing that it's definitely here to stay. There's no doubt about it. I mean, people are going to be using it all day, every day. It just works. It flat out works.
Now, what's up, Seth Larson? But anyways, sorry, it's my buddy right there. But now, I like Melissa Justice. I'm going to keep my comments to myself about forward-facing sonar. But now, let me ask you this: have you ever got yourself in trouble? And I don't want to mean like you got in trouble, like and got reprimanded, but like, has there been a day where you relied on it too much instead of reading the water, reading the elements, and go, man, if I would have just got my head off it, quit playing video games, and actually fished like I used to? Like, I mean, that argument's there too. Like, have you ever been in that position?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not as easy as people say. It's not just go out, drop your trolling motor down, go, oh, there's a fish, and catch that fish. There's been plenty of times where I'm looking at multiple big fish that could win the tournament, and they just will not eat. And you just spend your whole day on it and you don't catch a single one of them. It is kind of very tough with that because you could see them, you know how big they are, and you can't catch them. So it is
Right.
tough in that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the gamble. That's part of the fight is when to use it, when not to use it, get caught up in it. I mean, but that's with any other technique too. Like somebody's like, oh, I sat there and was drop shot too long and I should have went power fishing, or vice versa. Or, I just really kept trying to get that monster, but if I would have just put numbers, I probably would have done better. I mean, that's fishing. It's fishing for you no matter what. So
it is.
But all right, now we're closing in on that 30-minute mark. We got about 8-9 minutes left, and I don't want to keep you too long, but I got to ask you too. Now, do you have any kind of tournament rituals? Like you got a tournament coming up, you have to do this before every tournament, or you're going to freak out? Like, is there anything weird or just something that you could call a ritual?
I wouldn't say anything weird. It's probably what any typical angler does, but even right now, I mean, this for the past, today and tomorrow is basically going to be going through the whole boat, making sure everything's stocked, then cleaning the boat, and then loading the truck up with everything, and basically making sure everything's stocked up. That's pretty much the only ritual I have that I do every single event, is just basically go through, make sure everything's stocked up, retie rods and reels, and make sure the truck is stocked up with all the extra lures I have.
Now, do you change your line for every tournament, or do you reuse it for some tournaments?
Usually I will reuse it because a lot of the times I'm just using about a 10-foot long fluorocarbon leader, so I use braid for almost everything. And a lot of the times, if I barely even use that setup, then I'm not replacing it. Or I'll just strip off about 20 feet and just cut it off and start retying again.
Okay.
Braid's pretty expensive. I don't like to waste it. So
Right.
I just replace it as needed, but I probably will replace it 4 or 5 times throughout the year just because I do use it a lot.
Absolutely. And this is a tournament angler 4 or 5 times a year. I'm one of those guys that tell my followers and people, change your line at least once a year, if not 2 or 3 times. So yes, definitely agree with that. So, all right, I got a couple questions for you from the fans here. So Matt Kilmer asked, do you fish any other species, like tournament fish for any other species of fish?
So the only thing I fish for tournament wise, walleye number 1, number 2 would be smallmouth bass, and that is usually in the fall time, or I'll just jump into random events throughout the year.
Like a
And
buddy
that's
just hits you up. Hey man, there's a smallie tournament. Let's go hit it up. And you're like, let's do it.
Yep. That's basically about it. The fall time for the past 3 years, we've been trying to take home the title for the smallmouth bass tournament that we have every year. And man, every year I get second or third, and we just have the toughest time getting first. Never got
You're
first
always
yet.
a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Oh, man, gotta get it.
Nice. All right, next question. What is Dylan's go-to lure? Now, granted, if you see the hat he's wearing, I'm just saying. So,
So go-to lure. My favorite of all time would be a Moon Eye jig and a Senna jerk shads from Z-Man. So
there you go.
that's just a great all year kind of bait. And the summertime jigging wraps are also one of my favorite, just kind of one that you have to mention because they just work so good. But them are kind of really my 2 go-tos. I mean, I do throw live bait here and there. Springtime, it's just so many different lures that we throw. I mean, between rip and wraps, cast and crank baits, it's just a lot of different lures, but definitely them are my 2 go-tos.
Okay. Now I've got a personal question for me, and then I'll go to this last question right here, unless some other ones pop up. But anyhow, going into tournaments, I was talking about tournament rituals and things like that. Do you have tournament meals, so to speak, that like you just love to go to? Like, oh, I've got a tournament, I have to eat this. This is what I got to do. Or what does tournament meals look like for Dylan? Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Well, skip breakfast and lunch, and
Okay.
then try
Intermittent
to
fasting.
find anywhere that's open after 8 o'clock at night, because it's usually about when I get off the water.
Oh,
I
wow.
usually start my day out at uh, usually around 6 o'clock for the tournament days, pre-fishing wise,
So
and
no
try
banana, no protein shake, no eggs, no nothing.
really
Monster.
nothing. Protein shake is about it for the
Okay.
morning. Cup of coffee, and kind of throughout the day, I try to find some snacks to throw in the boat. But I'm just so focused on fishing. It was actually funny. Me and my girlfriend were talking the other day, and she's like, "Man, you could just take like a few minutes out of your day on the boat and just do this." I don't remember what it was. And I'm like, "You do know, like, when I even eat on the boat, like, I literally drop down, grab the food out of the cooler, jump back up, and then I'm just back on the trolling motor, back looking for fish, just eating away."
Yeah. You don't even taste it hardly. Just
No.
scarf it down. Now, do you have like a favorite snack that you put on the boat? Like is jerky or is it going to be
Oh
like
man,
Nutter
jerky for
butters?
sure. You got to
Okay.
have jerky in the boat. Yeah, I do make chicken salad a lot for the boat. That is one. I always have that on hand, quick and easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Protein, get
Man,
you going.
other than that, it's slim pickings on my boat. If you're getting in
Slim
my boat, you
pickings.
better bring your own food.
See, that's what you need to name your new boat, or your boat is Slim Pickens. So that's
Slim
your boat.
pickings, yes.
Or at least that's what's in the cooler, Slim Pickens. So, all right. So I got a question here. Any advice for the next generation of upcoming tournament anglers? Now, I don't know if this is walleye specific. It doesn't look like it. So just anybody trying to get into tournament fishing, what do you got for advice?
So really, if you're gonna try to go for any type of tournaments, what I say is start out local for sure. Lakes that you just have around you that you fish a lot, jump in a smaller tournament here or there. If it's $100 to get into, whatever, jump into that tournament, and it's at least going to get your foot in the door a little bit. You're going to see what it's all about. You're going to meet people. You're going to learn so much. And even jumping in them little tournaments, it might not be a lot of money to get in them, but what it's going to teach you is so much. I mean, every day you can learn a lot. Every tournament I go to, I at least want to take away one thing, learn one thing. Try to learn something every day you go out. Just take mental notes. But when you're in a tournament, it forces you to learn real quick. And, jumping in them local ones really helps.
Yeah. Understand your mistakes and accept them too. So
You have to.
that's just in life. That's just in life, not just tournaments. But yeah, that's definitely it. What was another one I saw for you? People just started asking questions like crazy. Oh, here we go. Melissa Justice asked, "What or where is your favorite place to fish?"
Oh man, probably the Mississippi River. I love
Ooh,
fishing the Mississippi River. Just fishing rivers in general is so much fun to me. I love kind of figuring out the current. I love being able to visually see like where the fish are gonna set up on them current seams. So, the rivers are some of my favorite. And besides that, out in the Dakotas, absolutely love it out there. Like Devil's Lake, there's just so much man-made structure out there, and really kind of any man-made reservoir that have man-made structure in them, say roads, I mean anything like that. It's just so much fun to me because that's what I grew up fishing a reservoir, and there's just so much structure to fish, and the fish can just move so much. It's just something I grew up doing, so I really enjoy it.
all right, not bad. Got another question here for you. I'm going to bang a couple of them out because hey, the people are asking, so I'm going to get it
Yeah.
going, and we'll get you wrapped up here in a few. So, what is your go-to bait on a slow bite? Now, walleye, maybe smallmouth, maybe bass, and other fishing techniques.
So for walleyes, go-to is, go to something just like a jig and a crawler. I mean, if the bite is super tough, live bait is always a great option to go to. And if you can't use live bait, just go to something like a plastic. I mean, that kind of jerk shads like I was talking about, even dropping down to like a 3.5 inch bait and just using a slower cadence. A lot of the time, you'll get them fish to go.
Okay. All right. Now, Jennifer Ludman asks similar question, but so the other question was, like when things slow down, things like that. What's your best luck bait, so to speak? Like, oh, this is my money bait right here. So,
Ooh. You know, for walleyes, again, I'm probably going to have to go with the Moon Eye Jig and Ascended Jerk Shads. It's just one of them baits that just produces fish. And it produces fish all times of the year. So I have to say that's got to be my lucky bait. Just for the simple fact that you can use it in 40-degree water temps or 80-degree water temps.
all right, all right. Now we got ourselves a little bit of a, VIP here asking a question. Spencer Clark Fishing. He's actually a KastKing angler. He's a
Nice.
professional angler, and I believe he's a guide as well. So Spencer asks, "What's the biggest walleye you've ever caught?"
You know, the one that I caught this year was 32 inches. This was on Green Bay this year. 32 inches, but it was not my heaviest. So it's kind of tough one. Because Lake Erie, I've caught my longest one, which was 34 inches, but it only weighed 9 pounds. Then also I caught one that was only 28 inches and was pushing 30 pounds, 28 inches and was pushing 13 pounds. So I guess my biggest weight was right at 13 pounds and longest was 34 inches.
Okay, nice. Now I got one right here. One Pedraza, he did correct it. He asked, "Do you gar fish? Do you do any gar fishing?"
No, but in South Dakota, I believe it was, I kept seeing these fish on top of the water. I'm like, what are these things? And finally, I got close enough to see what it was. I'm like, oh, there's a gar, and they're just a bunch of little ones, like maybe 18, 20 inches long. And I kept pitching to him, trying to catch one, and I could not catch one to save my life. I never even ended up landing one. I had probably 10 or 15 of them on, but just could never get a hook in them to actually get them in the boat, though.
Well, hey, time will tell. Maybe you'll get it done one of these days. So, how long have you been tournament fishing? I mean, how, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, I know a lady never tells, but how old are you, Dylan?
So I'm 26 years old, and I fished my first walleye tournament when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
So on the pro side, this is actually my 7th full season on the National Walleye Tour. So
Yeah, you've been doing it a while.
quite
I
a
think
while.
maybe like 6-7 years ago at ICAST, and you were really popping on the scene, man. So that's awesome. That's crazy. Now, you know what's crazy to me is here you are. You said you were 26, 27?
26.
26 years old, and you were competing for potentially $250,000. That's wild, man. I mean, how many other people at 27 are doing that? Killer, or 26. You're killing it, man. Killing it. Good for you.
Exciting.
That's awesome. All right. Well, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for Dylan here. I'm going to let him go. Actually, go have an actual evening. It's getting late. You know, I know you got you probably got quite a bit to do. You do also have a social life, you know, and you're getting ready to leave for the weekend in this last tournament. So I'm going to let you get back to it and get back to the girlfriend and the family. But before I do, Dylan, how can people follow you? How can they watch Dylan Nussbaum win that $250,000 worth of goodies and just cash him checks and maybe catch a gar in a and whatever else?
Yeah,
how can they follow you?
On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's Dylan Nussbaum Fishing, basically across any platform. And along with that, follow National Walleye Tour. They're going to be posting all sorts of videos the whole time throughout. I believe they're doing a whole media day for the day before the event. So there's going to be a lot going on the National Walleye Tour page as well.
So awesome. Now, do you ever mess around on TikTok or anything?
I don't actually on TikTok. I do not.
You know, TikTok is like this. It's up and down. All of a sudden, it's it's gaining some momentum again. So
something
definitely.
I should do.
Definitely. Now we got this one right here. You got a new follower right there. AWKOA. He's going to follow you. That's the way it goes. Great. Well, Dylan, I'm going to let you go, man. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, dude. On behalf of myself, everybody in the comment section, everybody at KastKing, go out there and win you one, man. Go get it.
Absolutely.
Put that championship belt around your waist, brother.
Yes.
So yeah, go get it, man. We can't wait to see it. And actually, let me ask you, if you do win, can I have you back on the show as soon as possible?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Right. You got first dibs.
Hey, all right. I'm going to take you up on that. So cool. Well, right on, man. I do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and turn you loose. You have yourself a good night and
Good
good
deal.
luck,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. Dylan Nussbaum, a.k.a. the D-Bomb right there, dropping bombs on you. Hopefully he drops some bombs on that tournament scene this weekend out there and puts that championship belt around your waist, man. That guy is such a stud. Dude, he's killing it, you know? So anyhow, guys, Dylan's getting ready. He's going to be taking off, getting ready to go out there and win his championship and his Angler of the Year, hopefully. He's got the talent to definitely do it. But you guys are probably looking to win that Royale Legend Pro Baitcaster. Or if you guys are really after it, I'll let you get a spinning version of it if that's what you're wanting. So this guy right here, you guys have been waiting and begging for it. But if you don't want to wait too long, take advantage of that 20% off discount. Get it put in the cart, get it shipped here, and you can have it before the weekend and use it on your Labor Day weekend, guys. Guys, definitely check out all the different places from the TikTok shop to Amazon to KastKing.com. Of course, we're coming into a holiday weekend, and if you guys know, holiday weekends are where those discounts definitely come in and some of those crazy good sales go on. So let's see here. Where did it go? I saw somebody put it in here. I'm trying to catch it, and it keeps running. Oh, right there. Nope, that wasn't it. But I appreciate that, Doug. Appreciate it. But yes, ooh, that purple is fancy. Yes, it is. And then Juan right here, that color is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's the picture doesn't quite do it justice. I'm gonna go ahead and play this little clip right here and let you guys actually see that sparkle. Look at that shine. We're gonna give that away. We're gonna hook you guys up right there. It's that gorgeous sheen right there, guys. So if you guys are after it, you guys are looking to win it. The way you do it is make sure you guys are commenting, just like you see right here. Helen Jones wrote, "Beautiful." Called me Santa Claus, says it's a beautiful reel. All right, Santa Claus, it is a beautiful reel. But yes, definitely, just make sure you're commenting. Jesse Justice, I love it right there. You know what? You're going to take care of Melissa and you're just going to buy it for her. Take advantage of that 20% off and get it done. Wait a minute. We have a Joe Dirt sighting here. Plum Crazy Purple in the comment section. That is it right there. Give 2 away, AJ. You know what, Milton? Let me see what I can do. Maybe I will. Let me see what I can do. We just might have to give 2 away. We'll see. If you guys play your cards right. Oh, that's it. That works. Here's my comment. That's it. That potentially right there. Here's my comment. I'm in. Dope. Ready for the weekend. Love the color. LOL. Hook us up. Yes. Those are all comments that could potentially win you a Royale Legend Pro Baitcaster, or if you so choose, the spinning reel version, guys. So that's going to do it for me for tonight's show, guys. Thank you very much for jumping in. If you guys didn't comment, you still have time, or you can go back and rewatch the episode and comment then. I'm going to do this giveaway, announce it next Tuesday night, a week from today, on the winners, and maybe I'll give away 2. So if you guys didn't happen to catch this in the live broadcast, you can still go back and watch it. Say this is Saturday evening, Sunday, or Monday, or Tuesday morning before I announce the winners. You guys make sure you're commenting, make sure you're liking it, and you will be entered for your chance to win 1 or maybe 2 of those Royale Legend Pro fishing reels. So, guys, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Corey Lytle, appreciate it, man. Thank you. It wasn't a bad episode at all, was it? All right, guys. Now, if you guys are already watching us right here on Facebook or YouTube, you already know. Just make sure you got that subscribe button clicked and the notification bell on, so that way when we go live, whether it's myself or Nikki or anybody else from the KastKing family, you guys are getting hooked up and dialed in. Of course, you guys want to take advantage of those giveaways. But you know what? There is a side of this that doesn't get as much love, and that's the TikTok page. Guys, jump over to TikTok, check out KastKing USA, and check out the KastKing TikTok shop. There are some exclusive deals always banging out all week long on the TikTok page or the TikTok shop for KastKing. Crazy deals right there, flying off the shelves, and I'm sure it's going to be no exception this week for Labor Day weekend. So, guys, make sure you're checking that out. That's KastKing USA on TikTok. And then, of course, Instagram. Check us out on Instagram, same handle, KastKing USA. And then we have a secondary Instagram channel, KastKing Community. But always be wary. It seems like Instagram's the worst for it, for those pirate sites that always claim to be KastKing, but they're not. So if you ever have a question, make sure you dial it in, hit up your favorite KastKing KBA or somebody who works for KastKing and say, hey, is this legit? before you click on any links, so that way you don't get nailed and you're upset. So, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you very much. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Looks like Sean's got a birthday coming up, and he's thinking that this Royale Legend Pro would definitely be a great birthday present for him. Yes, definitely. You know what Juan says? There's a lot of fake kayaking on Instagram. Well, that is definitely something to keep an eye out for. All righty, guys, that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys later. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you next Tuesday. And hopefully I'm announcing your name on that Royale Legend Pro giveaway. See you guys later, and have a great night. Bye-bye. Happy Labor Day.